Hello, Moose family. Welcome to the first episode of MHL Tonight. Thursday night, just coming down to end week number 3. So most of our shows are just going to go over what happened in the day of the Moose Hockey League and the nightly series. But since we're at the end of week 2, media's been a little down. We're going to try to go ahead and hit as much as we can tonight for the whole week of the Moose. We've got Don't Hate with us tonight and Crazy Yeti Killer. I'm going to hand it on over for Crazy to take over the show here. You gotta unmute yourself, Yeti.
I'm unmuted on the thing, but I forgot my mic was muted from when we were playing. But how's it going, everyone? How's your nights going?
Good.
So what are we talking about first? So where do you want to start?
Let's go ahead and go over the weekly trades.
Okay. What trade do you want to first talk about? Do you want to talk about? Hey, let's talk about our trade. Let's talk about the bow trade first.
Well, I mean, we needed a spark in the locker room. I mean, guys were kind of getting bored out. I mean, our chat really wasn't that active. So we decided that we'll trade Sniper for Bo and see what happens. And I'll tell you what, I don't think I've ever seen our chat go off as much as it's been. It's livened up the locker room, and we had a good series tonight.
Yeah, it definitely has. And hashtag sexy time. But yeah, the party and everything it's changed dramatically. What do you think about this trade there, Blue?
I mean, it's a forward for a defenseman. Both teams kind of get what they want. I haven't played much with Bo. I've seen a lot of unbeaten snipers, so it's hard for me to say, but I'm not really seeing a winner or a loser. With both teams are getting exactly what they're asked for, what they were looking for.
Yeah, well, I've seen a little bit of Bo, and I tell you, Bo can play. I think it's as you said, both teams got what they needed. So hopefully it works out for Savvy's team, but right now I'm thinking, Bo, how she sparked up the locker room and everything has this trade right now. The next trade, sorry, I'm trying to navigate the transaction thing here. It's kind of all over the place. I guess would be, do you want to talk about the Orange Phoenix one?
Oh, over to Fallen Orange Phoenix and Knife in Your Guts for Blackjack.
Yeah.
Kind of a 2-for-1 deal. I had a lot of players, and we did really well in week 1, so I kind of wanted to lighten my roster just a little bit and pick up what I needed was a utility guy. So I had a lot of left wingers and I had a lot of D men. So I mean, both of them were good players, and Fallen was he was looking for a little bit more depth in his defense. So it kind of works out a good deal. I give everyone a little bit more games this week than what we had last week. And, I got a good utility guy that can fill in 2 games on D, 2 games at wing, 2 games at center. So I think it was a rough week for us this week, but I think if we get through the weekend, get some practice in, I think it's all going to work out.
Yeah. What do you think about this trade there, Hate?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I mean, when everything fell apart, I got my boy back, so I was happy with it. So I know he was a little upset about it. I mean, but he was actually really liked playing with Blue. He liked his place, but now he's back home where he belongs.
Yeah. at first looking at this glance, I'm looking at this trade, and I'm like, I'm looking, and the Mallards did pretty well with receiving a blackjack MVP. He's a solid vet. As I think we touched base on this briefly on the last show, but yeah, he's a solid vet. He's well known in the league. He's a good center. He's defensive. He'll put the puck in the net for you. So I feel like that was a fair trade, 2 players for 1. Now, just to come, as you just said, that Orange Phoenix was just turned around and traded to us. Would you want to talk about that trade more? Because I'm having problems finding that right now on the transaction.
It wasn't a trade, Yeti.
No,
they released him, and then we picked him up on waivers.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a trade.
Nope.
My bad. Sorry, I'm just
That's okay.
As I said, I'm trying to navigate this. Was that a trade there, Blue Liner, on March 1st? The Mallards received Vaporize, and Jets received a Beast for Boston?
Yeah, that was a affiliate trade. We got the Beast Boston, who's a preferred goalie, and then it makes 4 goalie options on my team, and the Jets needed someone in that position. They had Vapor Craze, who he's a winger. I've heard a lot about him. I haven't seen him play, but he plays a lot with one of the forwards on my team. So, if we had a couple rough spots this week where we needed a waiver. So if I would have had a forward at that spot the other night or had him over the goalie, might have worked out for us better. So I think it's just an affiliate trade. I don't have he's not a full-time player, won't get a lot of play time, but it sounds like he'll fit in well with my forwards. If any time comes, we got to use him.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do not know too much of these players, but other than that they were both in our pickup lotto draft the other night.
Yep, they came out of the player lottery.
So there was obviously some interest in some of the teams here, it looks like, which, you know what, it's good on them, and it shows that, show up to these waiver games, play as a waiver, you get picked up as a lotto player, and you can be traded to a team and might win a cup. Anything can happen in this league. The other trade I think we already touched too is the Jets receive NJ Pixelated and the Nailers receive PBX 90. Right now I think that the Jets win that trade hands down because Pixelated is just a pure scorer, and since that trade, Weber's now leading in every offensive category, minus tied with me for power play goals.
Most definitely. You got to remember that Pixelated came from the Fundies, and the Fundies was, Weber was over there with Grish on the Fundies, so them two already have some chemistry. We played them the other night, and it's just unbelievable. Both players in that trade are good players, and they're both going to help them teams, but the Jets definitely won that trade, based on chemistry alone, and watching Webb and Pixelated work together the other night when we played them was just, it was amazing. I actually enjoyed watching it. Just sucked being trying to defend it.
Yeah, I want to shout out to both of my boys. That team is pretty much all my boys, especially Weber, Luckton, and Teaspoon. I keep on wanting to say his real name. All of you guys, you're my boys. Love ya. I'm glad to see you guys playing together and playing well. So. Yeah, hey, what do you think about this trade?
We bumped into BBX that night after the trade, and BBX is a great player. He knows how to put the puck away. He loves to wrap, so goalies got to stay on their toes. And if it's not there, he knows how to put the puck out front. But yeah, definitely, no doubt, NJ is just phenomenal.
Yes,
we all know that. He's so hard to stop. Even trying to play 2-on-1s on him, he can get through. He knows how to make plays. He knows how to get people open, and they know how to put the puck away. They're going to be definitely a real hard team to stop.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely are. And I'm afraid to play them when we do next. But it's definitely going to be a fun challenge, and it's going to be a lot of trash talk. There's already going to be messages sent back and forth. That's right, Webb. Me and you tied for power play goals, and I think I scored another one tonight, so hopefully you did too. So I think that's pretty much it for the transactions. Is there anything you want to briefly talk about before moving on to some of these scores? scores from earlier this week.
Now, I say we get on with the scores and move through the week of how it all went for each team.
Okay, so how do you want to break this down? Do you want to do each one of us do like on a day, say game, go over the scores, and then all of us break it down, or would you like to just
I just
me
start
read
with
them
what
off?
we got on the schedule here. I'm looking at the site schedule. So like Monday
The
night,
19th.
the 19th, that was week 1. So Monday the 26th would have been the start of week 2 with the Mallards going up against the Jets. And the Jets swept that series with a 5-2 win in the first game and an 8-2 win in the second game.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Mallards had a rough week. The second game of that night was the Generals going up against the Nailers. And game 1, the Nailers came out on top 5-2, and the Generals bounced back with a 4-1 win in game 2.
Yeah. Another game that night was our Royals going up against the Oilers. Game 1 we lost 3-0, and then game 2 the floodgates kind of opened, and then we lost 8-4. And then the final series that night was the Steelheads versus the Rampage, and the Rampage came out with the series win here, taking the first 2 losses. I mean, like 2 wins away from the Steelheads. Or 3-1 and 3-2. That was the series of the week, and I predicted that the Rampage would win that series. Just want to say, shout out to my boys for proving me right. Superstar NJ, love ya.
Still has proven me wrong on that one.
All right, so any surprises that week for you guys, or that night? Sorry.
I figured the Rampage was gonna get at least one game. And I call it a split, both odds in favor of the Rampage. So it was kind of nice to see the Steelheads get their match and take their first 2 losses of the season coming into week 2.
Yeah, there wasn't really much of a surprise, but as I said, it was a series to watch, and I'm just glad that my predictions came out right.
Like I said earlier, if the Rampage find their swagger, they can be another hard team to beat.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. All they had to do was just start clicking together, and I think it was just mainly availability and lineup issues for the first week that had the poor start for them. Now, let's move on to the next night, where, speaking of the Rampage, they went up against the Mallards, and they swept the Mallards. Game 1, 7-2 for the Rampage, and then game 2 is 4-0 for the Rampage. Jeff, what happened?
We're just having a rough week. Nothing's going right for us. I mean, we have moments where we're playing great, and then we just kind of have some breakdowns. But we definitely got to be leading the league in penalty minutes coming out of week 2, because at least every game this week we spent a period down the penalty kill. It's we can fix that. I think we can come back and bounce back in week 3, but yeah, every team got a good.
The Royals might beat you in that category. Our centerman last night had 10 penalty minutes just by himself. ...
Hashtag turn down the fucking duck and turn up the fucking good.
We got a bunch of goons playing for us now.
Yeah, I guess someone's trying to take me a run for my league leadership of PIMS. God damn it. Alright, so the second series that we'll talk about here are the Jets going up against the Oilers. And all I've been hearing so far this week are Jets, Jets, Jets. And they're on a fucking tear. For game 1, they win 10-2, and game 2, 7-2. They just made the Oilers look redonkulous. Like, it's a completely different ball game when they played, and I'm assuming that the new lineup and the new acquisition of Pixley has helped a lot. What about you?
I'm kind of curious to know their time of attacks on those games, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, well, I can quickly pull it up for you right now.
Oh yeah, you got to. I got to hear this.
Game 1, time on attack. Oilers is 1 minute and 23 seconds to the Jets, 8:36.
Jesus.
Oilers won 20% of the face-off. That makes no sense. They won 20% of the face-off percent, and yet the Jets have 92. Nah. Something's wrong there. The Jets score 5 of 8 on the power play, and they only have 5 hits in game 1. Game 2, I'll take a quick look here. It's probably going to be around the same. They had so the Oilers had a little bit better of a time attack. They had 9 shots on goal, and their time attack was .339. To the Jets, 13 shots on goal and 9.27 time on attack.
That's just ridiculous numbers right there, though.
That's just the pucks in the Oilers and the entire game.
Defenses, get ready. Holy hell.
Well, the Jets are beatable. They have flaws, and you just gotta be able to find them and exploit them as a team. I won't go over them on the air, so I know people will get mad. Hashtag all my boys. But I'll let our team know when we play them next. So the next series we have is the Royals versus the Nailers. Game 1, our Royals win 2-1. The Nailers come back in the third period, and I think it was like with 57 seconds left in the
20. They scored the goal with 6.3 seconds left
to take the lead to win 3-2. I really don't want to talk about this series other than I got 4 points. That's all I got to say. And someone kind of got a little upset after the series and raged and now went bye-bye. Pete, you want to talk about that a bit?
I'm not going to throw him in my conversation out there, but, I understand. You get a bad couple series, guys get tempers. They want to win. Everybody's competitive. Everybody wants to be there playing their best. So, he's a great guy. I love Snipe to death. I'll play with him any time of the week.
Yeah, I have no problems with him, but there's a time and a place, and right after a loss like that, it's going to sting a little bit. So take a couple breathers and then come back at it. That's all it is. Jeff, what do you think about that series?
It looks like a real tight series. They're a little scoring. I just clicked to the wrong page there now. But yeah, the 2-1 in the first game. It looks tight and scored, but as I'm looking at it, they had 5 minutes more time on attack than you guys. So they had a lot of puck possession. I'm gonna say you guys played really good defense there.
Did you look at the penalties that we had?
Yeah, that game was absolutely ridiculous with penalty minutes.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. Game 2, triple coverage on me, and I still scored 2 goals. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing, but hashtag can't stop me. Fuck you.
I'll tell you what, MVP of that second game, I will give the Courageous Blade all day long. Hold on, was that? Yeah, that was last night's series, yeah. Or no?
I don't know.
No, he was on the Generals, my fault, wrong one. The Generals one I give him that. Nailers, wrong team.
Yeah, okay. Wow. So the next series we're going to talk about in the last series of that night is the Generals versus the Steelheads. And the Steelheads coming back and coming out with the series sweep, winning game 1, 4-1, and game 2, 4-3. It looked like the Generals got their shit together game 2 and came back and gave the Steelheads a little bit of a fight. Other than that, I'm just looking at the time of attack. Game 1, the Steelheads had 5 minutes and 21 seconds on time of attack to the Generals 3:37. The real difference maker was Steelheads had 13 shots to the Generals 6. You're not going to score if you don't put the puck on net. I'm sorry. So I'm assuming that's the adjustment they made going into game 2. They decided to put the puck on net, and they got 2 more goals. Jeff, what do you think about this series?
I think the Steelheads are just a tough team. I mean, Savvy's got a really good team over there at the Generals. They're tough in that, and they held up really well with the Steelheads. But I would have predicted the Steelheads coming out with the sweep, and that's exactly what happened there.
Yeah. Don't hate. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Both teams are really good. But yeah, I agree with you. If you don't put the puck on the net, you're not going to win a game. You got to shoot. Time of possession's nice and all, but if you're only putting on 5-6 shots a game, it's not going to help you.
No, not at all. Not with this game.
Yeah, game 2, they put on, it looked like 16 shots, and were able to get 3 goals on the 16 shots compared to the Steelheads. It looked like Steelheads had 13 shots and were still able to score 4 goals to the General 17. Yeah. So then that leaves last night. So it looks like the Mallards and Steelheads didn't get their stats in, but since we got you in here, Jeff, you want to start off with that one? What were the scores?
You know what? I don't even remember the scores right now without my pictures, but I'll tell you what, it was just not. It was not good. In game 2, we lost 4-2. I remember that score. I always have one good night of the season. That was last night. I got 2 goals from the blue line, thanks to my forwards giving the Demons some love last night, trying to make things happen. Game 2 was our best game. I believe game 1 was a 7-1, 7-1, 7-2 or so. We're not scoring. We're trying. We're just not going our way right now. We're getting shots on net. We're just not scoring goals. We got some issues. I really don't know how to answer what's going on with this right now. It's so much different than we were in week 1. I might have changed the lines up a little differently this week, and they got different players than what we had in week 1 on the same lines. But
the main thing I feel is, like, as it is, it's a short season, so we got 2 more weeks left?
Yeah, 2 weeks. So it makes it a rough time when you have a bad week like that.
Yes, so like right now it's pretty much do or die. The first week you're allowed to have a little bit of slack, like as long as you're able to build momentum over the course of the second week. Week 3 you got to be on lockdown. This week 4, so hopefully you guys can turn it around, build some momentum, and put some more wins in that column. Otherwise, you guys are going to be in some serious trouble with like some of these teams heating up right quick.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're gonna look a little different. It's gonna be the same team when we come out next week, but we're gonna work over the weekend and figure out what our best lines are gonna be to get out there during the weeknights. But it's a short season, so I mean, I think our biggest thing is we beat ourselves with the penalties. If our team can stay out of the box, and that's myself included, I'm just massive penalties with my fucking spamming, but it kills us right now. But I think we'll get something figured out and make a few pair up different players on some lines next week, and I think we'll come out and make it better. Everyone on the teams knows we need to do something and work more together and figure out what's going on, because we're different than we were in week 1. But the same guys are going to be out there come Monday night, and I just hope for a better week. I think we can pull it out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, as I said, you guys do. Brian, what do you got to say about that?
Now, like the Steelheads are a good team. Mallards are a good team. They hit a bit of a rough patch. I mean, they were you guys were in second place, right?
We were like in between second and third. We were showing in third on the standings, but had more wins in the second place for last week.
Yeah, I mean, you guys hit a rough patch. I mean, you guys will get it together. Monkey's a great player. He can score goals for you. You're shut down on the line most days. You have your off days just like everybody else. Willie's, your goaltending, I mean, has been pretty well solid. Willie's been bragging about how he's been winning. He didn't do too much of it this week, but...
No, and I can't put anything this week on my goaltenders. I mean, both of my goaltenders are doing their job. If we're not helping them out, shit's going to happen. So, I can't put no blame on the goaltending. It's a team effort. We're gonna win as a team. We're gonna lose as a team, and it's not one player that's doing bad. It's all 6 of us. The whole 11 of us really on the team. We just went 0-8 for the week, so it's you just get in a slump, and it happened this week. It's sad that it's a short season, but we can come back in the next 2 weeks and take that 4th spot, and I think you're gonna see us there.
Exactly. Just keep grinding. You guys will be all right.
So the next series we'll talk about are the Jets and their hot run. What I think again, another series sweep. So that's 8-0 right now. Game 1, 4-0 over the Nailers, and then 3-1 over the Nailers. These guys are on a roll, and these guys are definitely proving they're the cup contenders. Everyone should be looking for them and trying to beat them to get to that cup. What do you think about that there, Hate?
Jets are going to be a powerhouse. Like I said, no matter what you do, you can try to throw 3-4 guys at them at a shot. They're going to still figure out a way to beat you, and that's the problem. If you think you got one guy shut down, guess what? The other guy's right there ready to do more damage than what the guy you're trying to cover. So unless you figure out a way to try to keep it in their zone so they can't come at you, you ain't going to stop them.
Yeah, and that's the problem with this team. They play too much together that they just know where everyone is going to be. Like the party would be completely quiet, and they just know. They don't have to call the passes. They just know where they are. Jeff, you're pretty unanimous on this. What do you think?
It's also it's still with the addition of Pixelated, and you have Luckton Pixelated to Weber and fucking goal. It just goes on all fucking night long, all night long. It's them 3 guys together. I mean, the Jets were good coming out of the draft. The Jets were great then, but then when they added Pixelated to the lineup, the chemistry came back from the fundies, and the fucking Jets are on a run right now. It's
not only just the fundies, like Pixelated and Teaspoon played on my team, and then Weber and Lockton played on my team as well. Like all
seasons of experience, seasons, the chemistry with all them players right there.
Yeah, just building on together. It's just, I think that's an issue with some of the newer captains, unfortunately, that they did not realize some of these veterans and their chemistry and how chemistry will really hurt you. Yes, you have to have some skill, but the chemistry is what really hurts you in the long run. And the Jets are proving that they have both. I guess the third series would be the Oilers versus the Rampage, and I'm surprised here. The Oilers, game 1, they managed to beat the Rampage 3-2, but that was short-lived because the Rampage came out strong and they kicked the fucking shit out of the Oilers 7-1 game 2. Jeff, over these scores, other than game 1, what do you think happened there?
I don't know what happened to the Rampage in game 1. I was in the middle of my series when I got the news came to me that the Oilers fucking beat the Rampage in game 1, and I was just in shock. I haven't really talked to anyone from the Rampage overnight, so I don't know what really happened there. But go Oilers! They had kind of a up and down there. Week 1 not so hot. Beat the Rampage to come out and smoked us tonight, and just proved me wrong on my preseason prediction on them, because they have a good chance of taking a run right now too. They were looking good tonight, and that was without Dangles and Ninja in the lineup. But it's kind of a shocking, but yeah, Rampage wasn't going to take it. They bounced back with that 7-1 win.
I'm looking at it, and Superstar must have had connection issues, because the Oilers only had 5 shots and they scored on 3 of them. And that is not Superstar-like at all.
No, not at all.
So there had to have been some sort of connection issue there. I'm still going to give kudos to the Oilers. They came out with that lineup without Cesar, and they won that game. I think that was also the addition of Barr. He's played NJ and Superstar a lot, so that was the surprise for me of that night. Hate, what do you think?
Oh, I mean, some point with the Oilers. I mean, now you got Czar, Barr, and Dangles up front. I mean, they can be a very, very good offensive team too. I mean, you can't cut them out of anything. Ninja could be a solid goaltender. I mean, he has his off days just like anybody else, but if he's feeling it in net, watch out. He could be one of the best in the league. I mean, I don't know their defensive situation. I mean, that could be a little bit of a struggle for them, but I don't see it being too much of a problem. But yeah, definitely when looking at that score, watching the Rampage come back 7-1 in the second game, that's kind of shocking.
Yeah. And again, like, the Rampage defense was the same. They only allowed 5 shots, but the offense came to life. They shot 18 times. So it was like over half the time they were shooting was scoring in. So it definitely showed that there had to been, I'm going to say it was connection issue game 1, and it cleared up game 2, and boom. The last series of that night is going to be the Generals versus our team. Scores were 4-1 Royals, and then 3-2. 4-1 Generals and 3-2 Royals. I wasn't there last night.
First game, nothing went right, bud. I mean, absolutely nothing. We had our defense just skating over pucks, and I mean, literally just skate right over them. One pick the pucks up, they come right out front and score. I mean, not much you can do with that. Then finally, after that game was over, we regrouped, got focused, and came back.
Yeah, I'm looking at the stats. Game 1, 14 shots for the Generals, 12 for the Royals. Time on attack was 447 Generals, 710 for the Royals. And then it was the face-off percentage. The Generals pretty much won the 60% of the time. So yeah, looking at that, it must have been, I don't know what happened, but yeah. Jeff, what do you think about it? I just want to say, but yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see any of them games, but I mean, knowing the teams and seeing how your week was going, both the Generals and the Royals are able to fucking pull points out each night. So this is Sabby got 4 points, 5 points. So he got the 3 points out of that. You guys got 2 points out of that. That's the thing with the Generals is I might not be getting enough credit because each series are coming out with at least 2 points, and the Royals look to be doing the same right now. So
yeah, it's slowly gathering momentum.
I don't look at the standings much during the week, but compared to what week 1 standings were and coming out of week 2, things are definitely jumbled around, and I'm seeing more contenders for that 4th spot than what I did preseason or even after week 1.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the scores were for the other teams, but we got another 2 points against the Steelheads tonight, so that would have piggybacked, jumped the Oilers and tied the Generals for 4th. So
I got word on the game 1 with the Oilers beating the Rampage. It sounds like there was a breakaway goal that they beat Superstar on, and then just a shot from the blue line that ended up going under the Superstar's pads. So that's where the 2 goals came in with there.
Okay.
Well, I know in game 2 against the Generals last night, MVP goes to Courageous Blade. If you bring up those stats, all the shots we thrown at him, the time of attack, I mean, we were just peppering him, and he would not let much of anything by. Literally, I think all 3 goals were garbage goals that we literally had to scrummage for to get. I mean, he just played out of his mind and played a ridiculous game.
Welcome to EA, home of the garbage goals, where they win, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The only scores I could really talk about are our team and I guess your team, Jeff, for tonight. Unless you have anyone else's.
Yeah, there were some scores posted. I'll bring them up.
Okay. While he does that, let's talk about the player leaders right now. Because I know people are bugging me. #love you. You know who I'm talking about? My boy Weber, who's leading pretty much every category. He has... Oh, I don't know what the hell is going on here now. On the leaderboard is... Oh, never mind. It's fixed now. That's because I highlighted it. The goals. Weber has 26 with number 1. NJ Ski 22. Pixelated at 16 for tied for third with Frosty and Teaspoon. Assists. Weber leads the way with 24, but he's tied with Frosty for 24. NJ Ski's got 23. Luckton 21, and then Pixelated at 19. And now, any surprises there so far?
Not really.
Not really. I don't have the score for the Jets tonight, but I do know that the Jets and the Generals went into 4 overtimes in Game 1. And
wow.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty sure that their Game 2 might have still been going or shortly ended before we were getting the show going. So I haven't heard anything from there since then. I seen the Royals post their scores, and the Oilers posted the score with them and the Mallards, which, you know, another rough night for the Mallards. The Game 1 was 3-0. We were able to contain them a little bit. We just couldn't get nothing past the Upshaw tonight. And then Game 2, they come out and just jumped to an early lead, and that was the 8-2 final for Game 2 for us tonight, or for the Oilers.
Speaking of Upshaw, I undressed him in warm-ups tonight. But anyways, yeah, sorry. Yeah, you guys are definitely having problems securing the win. I don't know if it's the last minute or it's just getting the offense clicking.
I think it's to getting the whole team clicking. And we're having issues on the breakout. We have issues in the offensive zone. I mean, but looking at our scores, it's not no last minute. We're not in the game at all right now.
It's like you guys need to be coming on like an hour earlier than what you're normally doing and get those extra 2 games in and smooth everything out. Hopefully you guys make some moves or you guys do something to fix this and get the chemistry and mojo going again. Heat, you want to tell everyone our scores from tonight?
We actually, hold on, let me bring them up here. It was 6-3. We won the first game, and needless to say, in my chat, that's all I heard. Oh, don't hate's gone. We're still undefeated. So they were living it up. Seems like every game I didn't play, they kept winning. So I was at the point that I was about to bench myself and say, let you guys go to town. And then the 7-5 lost to Steelhead. So I guess I don't have to bench myself now. So you guys didn't prove me wrong.
No. It was definitely a high-flying series. Sorry for interrupting you, Jeff. Go.
I got the scores for the Jets Generals, and it was a 4-3 win for the Jets in the 4th overtime. That's just still amazing that you guys even want to play the game after playing for it.
I would have been like, fuck, this is like the old Moose, man. 3 series, like, what is it now? 10 o'clock? Fuck, we're starting a series.
I know. Obviously, some of them guys in that series were missing the old 3-game series. And then Game 2 was a 3-1 win for the Jets. So, you know, the Jets weren't going to let the Generals get anywhere near them. It was still a 2-goal game, which is close, but it wasn't no 4 overtime game in Game 2. So the Jets were ready to get the night ended, and sure they kept it under control.
Yeah.
Blue Line King says the 4th overtime game was fun.
I would imagine, like, I always love those high-intensity games where it's like, fuck, you're in overtime, one little mistake will cost you, and you're just battling and next thing you know, you're looking up, and it's 3rd, 4th overtime. It's just some sort of excitement that some people I know have never experienced in the league, but God, it's fun once it happens. Other than that, what else do we have to talk about tonight there, gents?
I'm just impressed that the Generals were able to take it over freaking 4 overtimes. I mean, that's just crazy to try to hang on and try not to let anybody score. I mean, one mess up and you know the game's over. I mean, that's just crazy. Having that kind of composure, that kind of patience. It's a great game. I wish I could have watched it.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a great game to watch.
Oh, shout out to the people who were watching our stream game 2. Sorry I wasn't streaming game 1. I thought someone else was on our team doing it. But, yeah. Shout out to the 6-7 viewers we had. Tomorrow night, I I don't. While we take a little pause in stats and all that crap, tomorrow night it's going to be a late night edition of Girl Talk. I will be advertising and posting some shit all day tomorrow about it. So keep an eye on the Discord, the general chat, or the hashtag Girl Talk chat. I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing some PUBG, talking about the recent events during the Moose, some emos, some people crying, I guess, and some people fibbing. So it's going to be an interesting show. Yeah.
Are you going to bring him on as a special guest?
No. You got to pay me to come on that before I'll let you on, Eichel, alright? Oops, did I say his name out loud? But yeah, Blue, do you have anything you want to finish the night off with, or the show off?
No, thanks for everyone watching, and tune in next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll go over each night. We'll have a better job getting the scores ready, and we're trying to shoot for 10:30, but it could be a little bit later, just depending when the series get over. You know, all three of us on the team are playing in series 2, or on the show, are playing in series 2. So we'll try to get the shows going, you know, close to 10:30, but they might run, you know, a little past that start time. But we'll be posting in the chat box. But look forward to to getting all your media information each night of the week from MHL Tonight.
Yeah, as I said, as Blue said, sorry, we'll try to get the scores and everything better arranged for the next show. I'll try to get a hold of someone and get the actual transactions document where it's easier to navigate than what's going on the website right now. It's all over the place, it seems like, and it was hard to navigate when I just want to deal with trades instead of all the other little waiver pickup for the night. But yeah. Hey, you got anything you want to say before we end the show?
Just remember, guys, record your stuff, send it to Zero. He did a great top 10 last time for us, so I like to see more of it, so send your stuff into him. Let's get another one going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get them from the Zero is also posting them on the Moose YouTube site, and we can pull them off there and run them during the week too, so they can get some exposure on the MHL Tonight shows.
Yeah, do it. What, Jets? Do what? What am I doing? Huh? I just got a random G chat. Yeah, do it.
Gotta love
do
Jets.
it.
You my boy, Jets.
Just do it.
You're my boy, Jets. I love to hate you. You're my biggest rival. That's the only compliment you're ever going to get from me on the air. Hashtag 10-point night for me.
Nice. Had a good night.
Yeah. Kuzi was running a Forrester game on. It was kind of comical. He was putting up numbers, and it was just boom. But yeah,
Don't shuck that ego.
Yeah. Him and his exploits and knowing the game inside and out, motherfucker. Anyways, I guess that's it for this night's edition.
Thanks for tuning in. Check out Moose Girl Talk tomorrow night, late night edition, and then we'll be back on Sunday with the weekly kickoff and the player lottery show, and then MHL Tonight throughout the week. Wow, a lot of media coming up. So everyone have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, again, thanks for tuning in. Again, a lot of media pumping out. Check out, as he said, the Girl Talk tomorrow night's the edition, late night. There's going to be some tokes, some booze. You know, it's going to be a good time. Some laughs. Check it out. Thank you, Hate, for joining Blue Liner and I on this, and you've been a great addition so far to the media. I wanted to give you a thank you for that.
Thanks for inviting me, guys.
Definitely. Glad to have
shout
you.
out to Kinky, shout out to Bo, and shout out to hashtag Girl Talk, and shout out to my brother from another mother, Weber, because, you know, you want that. Yeah, you want that. All right.
So stand up with Yeti finally airing on Friday night.
Maybe. You got to tune in to find out.
Oh, I'll be there. Don't you worry about that.
Cheers. Keep your sticks on the ice.